Attention, passionate Eagles fans. Breaking news. Something big is happening in the NFC East that could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia's path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division, rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing it to you firsthand. But first, if you're a true Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're part of this family too. Let's go to the news. The Philadelphia Eagles are betting that Joshua Uche can offer more than he managed with the Kansas City Chiefs, which doesn't seem like a major challenge. The 26-year-old edge rusher signed a one-year deal with the Eagles worth $192 million, with $1,025 million guaranteed. Now he looks to revitalize his career after disappointing stints with the New England Patriots, who selected him in the second round of the 2020 draft, and with the Chiefs, to whom he was traded midway through last season. Uche is a curious case. After two inconsistent seasons in Bill Belichick's defense, he had a breakout year in 2022, racking up an impressive 11.5 sacks. However, in 2023, his production plummeted to just 3 sacks, with his struggles against the run limiting him to just 33% of defensive snaps. Midway through the season, Kansas City acquired Uche, hoping he could strengthen their defense. However, he only played 35% of defensive snaps and recorded 2 sacks in 7 games before being traded. Uche had an underwhelming stint with the Chiefs. He was a healthy scratch in 4 of the 10 games he was available for and didn't see the field at all during the team's entire playoff run. Overall, he recorded only 10 tackles and no sacks, playing 22% of defensive snaps across 6 games. Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid explained why Uche didn't fit in with the team. "He probably wasn't the best fit for what we do," Reid told reporter Zach Berman of The Athletic. "We picked him up late in the season and tried to fit him in, which is always a challenge. We would have liked to have had him from training camp to work him in better. By the time he arrived, we already had a defined scheme. I'm not sure he exactly fit what our defense needed, but he's a great kid." Despite recent struggles, Uche is still seen as a promising talent. In 2023, he stood out as one of the Patriots' most efficient pass rushers in terms of production per snap. He combines speed and athleticism, traits that could make him a valuable asset in Philadelphia's defense. Additionally, his football, IQ, and charismatic personality could quickly win over Eagles fans, provided he can perform on the field. Still, his playing time in Philadelphia will depend on his ability to improve against the run. If he doesn't progress in that area, he could face similar challenges to those he encountered in New England and Kansas City. The Eagles have already begun reshaping their group of pass rushers. This week, the team parted ways with Josh Sweat and brought in Uche as reinforcement for the 2025 season. Adam Schefter of ESPN confirmed the agreement between the player and the Eagles. Uche ended the 2024 season with the Chiefs, but wasn't even active for the team's Super Bowl loss, ironically, against his new team. During his time in Kansas City, he arrived via a trade that involved a 6th-round pick sent to the Patriots. In 6 games with the Chiefs, he had 10 tackles and no sacks. In his NFL career, Uche has totaled 76 tackles, 20.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery since entering the league in 2020. Now, with the Eagles, he seeks a new opportunity to prove his worth. If Uche can regain his 2022 form, he could become a key piece in Philadelphia's defensive rotation. The Eagles boast an aggressive pass rush, and if he can seize the opportunities, he might stand out and even earn a longer contract in the league. The Eagles' history shows that the team knows how to develop talent at the edge rusher position. Players like Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick grew within the system and made a big impact. If Uche can absorb the coaching and adapt to Philadelphia's defensive scheme, he might turn his career around. The upcoming season will be decisive for Uche's future in the NFL. If he can prove himself, he might finally establish himself as a reliable and productive defender. But if he repeats the adjustment issues he had with the Patriots and the Chiefs, his stay in the league could be in jeopardy. The talent is there, but it's now up to him to step up and convince the Eagles he deserves a bigger role on defense. The coming months, all eyes will be on training camp and preseason games. Uche's performance during these moments will be crucial in determining his place on the roster and his role in the team's plans for 2025. Philadelphia is betting on him, but the final answer will come on the field. Known for his explosiveness in kick returns and his versatility on the field, Williams joins the team to strengthen special teams and potentially add a new dynamic to the Eagles' offense. When the franchise signed Williams to a one-year contract, the initial expectation was that he would take over as the primary returner, replacing Britton Covey. However, during his press conference at the NFL owners' meeting, Sirianni hinted that Williams could play an even bigger role than expected. He suggested that Williams might serve as a change-of-pace player on offense, a role that could bring new tactical possibilities to the team. At 26, Williams has had an interesting journey in the NFL. Drafted by the Falcons in the 5th round of the 2021 draft out of Boise State, he started his career as a cornerback but quickly transitioned to running back. Last season, he played in all 17 games for the Falcons, recording 22 carries for 109 yards, 1 touchdown, and 13 receptions for 61 yards. However, it was in the return game where he truly excelled. In 2024, he accumulated 185 yards on 20 punt returns and an impressive 408 yards on 15 kickoff returns, establishing himself as one of the most reliable returners in the league.